All right. I think most of us remember Diana. I'm sure we do. And she is coming to us again with a message for a whole new world. And I, for one, am looking forward to hearing what she has to say about that. She's an inspirational speaker, writer, minister, and a possibility coach, which I love that. And I know she's got lots of possibilities she's anxious to share with people. Her intention is to offer leading edge resources and programs that educate and inspire. She helps individuals and organizations tap into the deepest purpose and passion so that they can express their true essence and create a living legacy. And a beautiful aspiration that is. So let's begin with a song and then Diana.
We allow ourselves to be nourished, mind, body, and spirit. We bless every cell of our body through resting in moments like this, through affirming health and well being, vitality, strength. We bless not only the cells of our body, we bless our mind and our thoughts. We bless our bank accounts. We bless our relationships. We have the power to bless through our thoughts and words and actions. And we are also blessed. And so we recognize this now. I am so blessed. I'm willing to give and receive of my good and the blessings that spirit, the divine, the universe has. I give and receive. I am blessed and I am a blessing. I bless all. Thank you, spirit. Thank you, divine. Thank you to our higher power. And so it is. Amen. All right. Well, let's get started with our message for today. I love the holiday season. And as we were chit-chatting before our time together today, we were talking about where we are on our Christmas journey. And some of us still have relatives in town. Some of us have presents to open and Christmas cards still to drop in the mail. But we've all walked through a bit of Christmas likely by now. So this is the time of year that I find it is so much easier for me to have my heart open, to be patient, to extend myself. But it can also be a challenging time where we experience feelings of loss, perhaps friends that have moved away, or traditions that have passed and are no longer with us. Memories of loved ones, whether those who passed this year or even very recently, or those who we honor whose passing was many years ago. I can recall being at Uni of Tallahassee back when I was on staff there, and my mother had just passed. It was 2005. And a wise woman, Maxine is her name, said, I think about my mother every day, and it's been 20 years. And I remember her saying that. And it gives me goosebumps, God bumps to say that actually. Now it's been 20 years since my mother has passed. And she's still there at the church serving in leadership now. 40 years since her mother has passed, and 20 for me. And so we just take a moment to allow ourselves to honor those losses, to honor those moments, those memories, and also to give compassion to our own heart. We want to honor those who are not with us in physical form, whether they are human, feathered, furred, or otherwise. This time between Christmas and New Year's is a powerful, transformative time. It is a liminal time, a time that we have the opportunity to reflect, to reevaluate, to remember what is important as we move forward. So it is an amazing opportunity to come together where two or more are gathered. There I am in the midst. There is the power. And so we have the power in this time. And I'm so honored to connect with you today, to be a part of your sacred Sunday gathering. So we're going to be exploring some ideas of how to more fully step into a new beginning, how to co-create that world that works for all. And we have the opportunity to come alive with purpose and passion as we prepare to cross the threshold into a new year, 2026, which is a new beginning. In 2026 numerologically is a 1 year, and a one is the opportunity for new beginnings. You see, 2025 numerologically adds up to 9, which is a year of endings and completions. And boy, did I cross a lot of things off my list. Student loans paid for, credit card paid off. I'm in the midst of clearing out a storage unit. I'm releasing and letting go as I prepare for what's next. And also, Unity Worldwide Ministries was absorbed into Unity World headquarters. So that is an ending that I honor as we step into a new beginning together in unity and in our lives and in our relationships. We have that opportunity to do that. Now, as we move forward, you may wish to have paper, writing utensil and paper so that you can jot down a few insights. So if you want to grab that, you have a moment, you may want to doodle as you're guided throughout the service. So whether you're feeling uncertain or eager or curious or hopeful, we'll be able to just be with all of that which is arising as we move forward in authenticity, tapping into the divine qualities that carry us forward. So often, before we can move forward in life, we need to glance back a bit. So we'll be doing that a little bit as well. The truth is, Christmas bells are still ringing at my house, so I'm going to dive into a little reflection on the Christmas story. I'm referring to it as Journey of Love, the birth that happens within. So long ago, and still today, a journey is unfolding. This journey has been unfolding for a very long time, a journey of evolution, a journey of revolution into what is possible, carrying us into what Doug called the best that can be. He said, evolution toward the best that can be. That is the journey that we are on. And so this journey that has been unfolding for many, many years, we are the star characters. But in the story that I'm sharing and referring to, Mary and Joseph are the star characters in this story that has a big message for us. They were not merely travelers who are on a journey, but they are carriers of hope and possibility. They carry a beautiful message for us. They weren't just traveling on a dusty road looking for a place to give birth. They were carrying the birth of something great for the whole world. They were carriers of a holy possibility. And so within them lived a promise, still forming, a dream, still seeking breath, love itself asking to be born into the world in a more full way. So they were on a search that fateful night, looking for a place of welcome, a place of safety, nourishment, and care, a place where love could be born and expressed more fully. They knocked on doors that seemed welcoming and that looked like certainty, that looked like tradition or approval. Alas, there was no room at the inn. You're probably familiar with the story. So perhaps this is what brought about the greatest gift, because when no structure could be found that could hold the sacred, they were gently redirected. They were redirected to a manger, a humble place, a place of surrender. They were redirected, and we are too, not outward, but inward. Redirected inward to that true place where love is born and where it gives birth, where it is birthed, where it is being born over and over again. They were guided to an inner place of resource and stability. And what's interesting is the word stability has the word stable in it. They were grounded to a stable place. Yes, a humble place, a place of stability where they called upon, they drew upon divine inspiration in their very own hearts. How much more stable can we be than to turn to our higher power, than to turn to divine qualities and energies that live within us, that were born in us, that are innate to our experience? All perfect. We don't have to be polished. We don't have to be perfect. We don't have to be impressive. That's stable. That place of stability is a growing place where we are grounded and humble and authentic. It is a place where life is tended to quietly. And we can all recall times where we needed to go within to become stable, right? Something was happening in the outer, whether it was a conversation or maybe it was a diagnosis or something arrived in the mail, some concern. Maybe it happened on the road. Maybe it was in the workplace. We had to turn within to find truly what we've been seeking in the outer world all along, a sense of peace, a sense of calm, faith, hope, love, joy, peace. So Christ light was never waiting for us in a building or in the outer world in an outer structure, but in an inner place of formation, waiting in consciousness. So in New Thought, we understand this birth as the awakening of the Christ consciousness, the divine idea of love and wisdom, peace, and wholeness. And doesn't mean we don't have our moments. We still will have our moments, but we know where that place of stability dwells. So this manger is not a location, even though we can point to it on the map. Perhaps it was here. Maybe it was then. This is when it was. This is where Jesus from Nazareth was born. This is where it was. We point to this inner state of mind, a state of willingness and surrender and curiosity, so that we co-create the world. We co-create our own domain. We co-create our experience of life. And we say yes to our higher power. We say yes to embodying these energies, embodying this wisdom, and then embarking upon the adventure of life, because it is absolutely an adventure. So what if we move forward into the new year with a sense of adventure, knowing that we have a toolkit? We have a toolkit that we can draw upon and use these tools to support ourselves, our community, and those that we interact with, perhaps at the bank or at a gathering, not even knowing and maybe never knowing the impact that we have made. So this birth couldn't have happened any other way, just like our birth and our journey cannot be rushed. It can't really be managed. We can do our part to make it orderly. We can create the environment where it can unfold. So the angels sang then in the story, and the angels sing today in our very own hearts. This tone, this note, this song of the universe. So this is the Christmas invitation that truly carries us throughout the year. We can draw upon this story at any time, but between Christmas and New Year's is a beautiful time to reflect, especially when we get a few moments after cooking that last meal, after cleaning up all the wrapping. Just reflect. Reflect, knowing that even when there is no room in the outer room, we can make room in our very own hearts so that this Christ consciousness may be born again. A spiritual truth triumphing over appearances. So, our message for today and this Christ light meets us exactly where we are right here, right now on this journey. So, today we gather at the threshold of a new beginning, the sacred threshold to a new year, a new vision, a new possibility. And even when we may have felt grinchy, we may have felt disappointed, we have felt maybe ill-equipped or uncertain or resentful or filled with regret, we can just allow that to be cleared and open up to a new possibility. So let's begin for a moment. We're going to have an interactive program today. Let us begin by looking back at 2025. Perhaps for you, it was also a year of completions, a year of endings. Maybe there was one thing that ended this year. Perhaps you still have the time in the next few days to complete something, to be done with it, whether it is crossing it off your list, giving it away, forgiving it, letting it out of your mind. It's probably lived there long enough. What is ready to be laid down from the past year? And this will be something that you can write on your napkin or your piece of paper or put it in the chat if you wish. What from my life or our community is ready to be laid down from the past year? What belief, feeling, habit, way of being, attitude no longer serves? What is a role we may have outgrown? Even a way that we serve that has been a blessing. What are we completing? What are we ready to finish so that we may be clear and ready to step into what's next. We're going to have a little bit of snow this afternoon, and there's something that snow does for us. It leaves a beautiful clean slate. It's a pristine, especially you look out the window and you see no footsteps yet. It's beautiful and clear. So later today, when that snow begins to fall, think about the freshness that snow brings. And what freshness do you want to bring into the new year? What do you need to honor from the past, whether it was good, bad, ugly, or indifferent, however you may see it? Imagine placing this gently on the altar. Place it gently on the ground where the snow will wipe away everything that is ready to be complete. If there are feelings, allow yourself to feel them and then set it down. And then we also ask, what is ready to be born? Not through effort, not through force, but as a natural expression of what is next. What if it's born in the right and perfect pacing for you, the right and perfect timing? Perhaps it is clarity trying to be born. Maybe it is courage. Maybe it is a deeper trust or joy or spaciousness. At the start of 2025, I tuned into my word for the year, which was alive. 2025 is alive. I love it when my word of the year rhymes, but it doesn't have to rhyme. So 2025 brought forth a sense of being alive, and certainly me completing so many things, getting my credit score up because I paid off my debt. My student loans are finished. Just ways of being are being cleared up. The cobwebs are being cleared out. That sense of aliveness brings forth a fresh breath, an invitation into possibilities. Dennis commented that he liked it that I'm a possibility coach, and that's how I do. That's how I do my work. Clearing out and supporting others and releasing and letting go and seeing what wants to be freed, released, shared, trade, given away, sold, whatever, to allow ourselves to come into a greater place of purpose. It's like being able to work on your desk after you clear it off. Have you ever sat down, maybe to pay bills or to write something special, and your desk was so cluttered? Maybe it was cluttered with things that are important, but you just needed to set them aside, move them into piles, clear your calendar, clear your space so that you can do what is at hand. Whether it is pay a bill, send a tithe, write a Sunday message, send off a letter to a friend that you need to connect with, make a phone call. That emotional space needs to be freed as well. It's not just physical and financial in our calendars. Where do I need to open up emotionally so that I can tune into a sense of curiosity and joy and eagerness, wonderment. So every day is a doorway. Every moment is a doorway. How will we live into the rest of this year and step into the new year, tending quietly to the moment at hand, allowing the present moment to arise? So this year, 2025, the year to come alive, we are bidding adieu as we move forward into the next year. Now, often people have goals that they set. And if that works for you, super. You may have heard of SMART goals. And if I got this correctly, it's S is specific. I know the T is time bound. I think I wrote it down, but we're going to be moving from SMART goals to heart goals. Similar, but I think a little bit more helpful for us, a little bit more aligned. And I want to see if I can pull that up here in my notes. The difference between SMART goals and heart goals. Well, for me, the H can be for happy or for heart. And the E in heart goals is enthusiasm. And enthusiasm is what fuels us They say it takes 90% of the fuel of a rocket to get that rocket to leave the ground, to get out of our stratosphere, to get out of the Earth's pull of gravity. And it can be like that with our goals, with our intentions. We're going to refer to these as heart intentions. So, this enthusiasm that we carry in our heart, the zeal, the energy, the eagerness is what will support us in going back to that thing that we want to accomplish. For me, I'm clearing out a storage unit. And without eagerness, without zeal, would I even want to get out of bed? And we don't want to should on ourselves or make ourselves, well, you have to. If that's what it takes, okay. But what if our heart intentions can carry us, can launch our rocket of desire into clarity and order and peace so that we only have around us what we truly love? Those relationships that serve us, that uplift our vision, those belongings that inspire us and align with our values. So heart intentions aligns with our values, and that's what the A stands for, align. It's also about awareness. It's about awareness of our values, awareness of our values and alignment with them. And also awareness of where am I tired and where am I inspired in my life? Without that awareness of what seems to be working and what isn't, they say, Henry David Thoreau, I believe, said, an unexamined life is not worth living. An unexamined life is not worth living. So we all have awareness. We are conscious beings. And with that awareness, we can sense where we need to do our work. We can sense what's working, what feels stagnant, what feels flowing, what is fueling us and giving us life. We can move from tired to inspired. We can move from what's draining us to what fuels us and inspires us on our journey. We can release what no longer serves, or at least be willing to look at it differently. And the R is all about being resilient and resourceful. Resilient and resourceful. That allows us to use what has unfolded in our life in a healthy way. No mud, no lotus. So what's unfolding in our lives can serve to help bring about clarity, where we can move from chaos to clarity. So again, we've got H standing for happy and heart-centered. The E is for energizing and enthusiasm. The A is awareness and alignment with our values. The R is resourceful and resilient. And you can create your own heart intentions. You can come up with some meaningful qualities, human qualities, divine qualities to help guide your journey. And the T for me is tenacity, just that stick-to-itiveness, and timely. And timely is on your time, divine time, where you and your higher power are going to map out what works for you so that you are ready for new beginnings. So we're releasing what no longer serves. We're simplifying what has become cumbersome. We're honoring the body and its sacred intelligence. We are good stewards, and that is my word for next year. Stewards of our money, stewards of our body, stewards of our relationship. We are stewards of what has been given to us, what we've been entrusted with. Stewards of spiritual teaching. Those of you who've served on a board, on any board, knows what it is like to steward the mission, steward the funding, steward your relationships. So the word steward is to tend to what is yours, to tend to what has been handed to you, to be faithful to it, to help it be sustainable. Whether you're moving into a new decade of your life, or you're moving into a new role, or you're going from paying off your bills to investing more, to growing beyond, that requires stewardship. So be thinking about what word is your word for the year. What word supports you in your soul endeavors? We've released and let go earlier in our message today, and you can always circle back around to this. You can make this a daily practice where you look at what am I releasing and what am I stepping into? Or it could be a weekly practice. So the timely part of heart allows you to choose rest as a spiritual discipline. It allows you to set your calendar. Now, they do say that that's when God laughs, is when you set forth your plan. So just know it is a co-creation. You and your fellow board members, you and your fellow congregants, you and all those in your homeowners association, you and your family, co-creating together with spirit, the highest and best, moving toward a greater evolution, moving toward living with wholeness. Aligning our calendars with our values allows us to prioritize peace, allows us to prioritize order and joy. I can recall a time when the new year was unfolding, and it was back when it was New Year's resolutions, and I did shift that to New Year's revolutions. New Year's revolutions, it has that word evolve in it. It's not about us becoming someone else. It's not about us copying someone else and what they're doing, unless they really inspire us. If you're inspired, move forward with that. It's about choosing aliveness. It's about tending to the moment from right where we are. So here are a few affirmations that you can take in, jot down. I'm happy to send this out if you'd like. That can open up a sense of possibility. We actually have the opportunity to be our own possibility coach each and every day. Our higher power, our higher self is there to shine a light, to answer questions. I may have shared before that from time to time I would lose my keys, and I decided to just ask the question because I noticed that I was saying, I can't find my keys. My keys are lost. My keys are lost. And so I asked, where are my keys? Where are my keys? And the answer I got wasn't really an answer. It was this urge to bend down and tie my shoe because it was coming undone. So I did. And when I bent down to tie my shoe, my head was at an angle where I could see that my keys had fallen off the couch. Isn't it amazing? There's this divine intelligence that guides us step by step, moment by moment. So whether it is your keys that are lost or you feel lost, ask spirit, ask infinite intelligence, and ask in a way that allows the answer to unfold. Here are some affirmations. I am ready for new beginnings. I choose aliveness in mind, body, and spirit. Make these your own. I release what no longer serves my becoming. I tune into my soul intentions. I know there is great wisdom within. I've been guided through tough times, and I'm being guided right now. And this, I trust the magic of new beginnings. I trust the magic of new beginnings. And so again, here we are, here we stand between the old and the new, between 2025 and 2026. And instead of rushing ahead into what's next, we pause. We pause because new beginnings are seated in stillness. And so here's a little guided reflection. I invite you to close your eyes again. If that feels comfortable, or you can just cast your eyes down. Maybe there's a candle in your sight, or look down at your journal paper out the window. And we breathe in again together, consciously in and out. And allow your body to be comfortable. Allow your body to settle in to this sacred pause moment, this liminal time, this sacred time. I am here. I am present. I am alive. Bring to mind this year that is completing, that is coming to a close. And remind yourself you don't have to prove your worth. You don't have to force any outcomes. But do notice from right where you are now, what has been released, what has been learned, what feels complete. Now gently turn your awareness toward the year ahead. It's not about what you must do, but what is ready to emerge. What is knocking on the door of your inner sanctuary? What does coming alive look like in the coming year? Or perhaps it's stewardship or courage or a sense of radiance, ease, flow, grace. If there was a word or a phrase or spiritual quality, what would it be? Notice any word or image or feeling that arises. There's no right or wrong, only that which is true for you in this moment. So allow this awareness to settle into your heart. Embody it. Take in another breath. What quality of life is calling you forward and what wants to be expressed? Take the time now to receive this word or phrase. It may be a little sparkle or warmth in your heart, or maybe something that you want to write down or speak silently or place in the chat. This word, this phrase, this spiritual quality becomes your companion and guide for as long as that is. Allow it to shape your choices. Allow it to bring forth grace. Let's place our hand on our heart, and I'll say a 2-sentence affirmation, and then we can say it either out loud or quietly. I welcome new beginnings. I trust a spiritual life unfolding through me. I welcome new beginnings. I trust a spiritual life unfolding through me. We can't do anything else. Our life is a spiritual life. That is the power that we are born with. We are divine beings. We're made in the image and likeness of God. And so our closing affirmation for the year. This year, I chose to come alive. Perhaps as you look back, there is another expression that came alive in you. Together, we move with clarity and compassion and courage, allowing life to express fully through us. We allow that invitation for what's next to continue inviting us into greater possibility. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, God, for stewarding our lives, for bringing us alive, for giving us life, for bringing forth all we need. We have all we need within, and we draw upon that right now as we step into a beautiful vision for what's next, and allowing that vision to be on the screen of our minds, whether it is more people around us, maybe it's more activity, maybe for us it's more solitude and quiet, maybe it's more reading, maybe this vision includes going back to school or taking a new training program, connecting with friends in person more, or connecting from friends from far away on Zoom. We step into now, we step 1 foot at a time, crossing the threshold into what's next. And we do so now with gratitude in our hearts. Thank you, God, for blessing me. Thank you to infinite intelligence for allowing me and guiding me to both give and receive. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Diana. Thank you for your inspired ideas on how to release and let go and move forward in a meaningful way for ourselves. Wonderful ideas. And thanks for putting that together for us and sharing with us, and bringing back Richard McDeesey, a voice from our Unity past. That's always nice to hear. Thanks for being here. Hopefully you can stay for a few minutes at the end for coffee talk, where people can ask some questions of you.
Absolutely. And his
Great.
song is called The Toast. So here's to life. Here's to life. That's the opening words of the song. So I toast each one of you. Here is to your life and to your community. Blessings.
Thank you.